Yes, used to do a Raider podcast on here. Now this is a segment. It is Let's Raid, Vegas Raiders discussion here, coming off of a Sunday. The one thing I thought of watching that whole game is like, wow, really good thing that the Raiders didn't take potentially the best offer and trade Davante Adams to the Kansas City Chiefs, or else they might have lost this game, given Patrick Mahomes some weapons to throw to for almost 300 yards. Really dodged that landmine, didn't they? It's so frustrating when you hear those things coming out. Like, oh, well, yeah, the Raiders, they didn't want to trade him in division, so they'll take a third round pick from the New York Jets. And there were conditions on that third that could make it a second, but does that look like a team that is going to have Davante Adams in the starting lineup of the AFC Championship game? I think not. So, yeah, it could be a high third round pick given how things are going with the Jets, but that is looking like a third round pick right now. As far as the Raiders are concerned, they actually did do better in this game than I thought. And they were able to move the ball kind of. The one thing, and this is true for every team, you are not going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs by kicking field goals. That has never, ever, 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 ever worked. Now, Antonio Pierce loves nothing more than to kick when he should not be kicking, and all of those things. And so to suggest that there was a time or place where they could have or should have or whatever, maybe not. But for this Raiders team and for every team going forward, I just think you have to look at this and really be aware that settling for field goals, even if it's, oh, you know what, just get points. Just get some points, just keep that momentum going. At some point, they get to do that 7-point thing. And I'm not going to say they get to do it at will, because that has not been how they have played it this year, but I don't think just getting points is the way to go. You have to be aggressive against these guys. The same way just kicking field goals against the Patriots was never going to be it, because eventually, hey, look at this. We went down and we scored 3 times. It's 9-0 and it's 9-7 and now it's 14-9 and we're losing again. That's always how this has been with these guys. And team after team falls into we just got to get some points here. We just got to get that momentum, build that up a little bit. And it always leads to a 6-9, whatever. And then all of a sudden you're losing and now you can't finish drives. And all these times where you were that close to just being able to finish it, you weren't able to do it. But this is, again, it's going to be something we talk about with the Raiders for the rest of the season. There is a significant talent deficiency at a couple of key positions. Now, we can argue that the running back is not as key a position as it used to be, but they still... the reason it is not is because you can find a lot of good running backs out there. The Raiders have 3 guys who I wouldn't put in that category. And so they have a deficiency there, and it is so obvious that the quarterback ain't it either. So that is that's just where this Raiders team is at this particular moment.